Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mike Fletcher, and welcome to the recap of Battleground here, as it was tonight live on the WWE Network and on pay-per-view as well. And as many, well, not of you, many of you know, I'm actually not in my regular studio in East Providence, Rhode Island. I actually had to go to another location for reasons beyond my control. I'd rather not talk about it here live tonight. Um, but many of my friends knows what has happened and everything else, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. However, I am here alongside Anthony Foyo and Michael Golick, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about tonight. So we're just gonna dive right in. The pre-show fight, just to let you guys know, was King Barrett versus R-Truth, and the winner of the bout would become the king of the WWE. Basically, the king of the ring crown was on the line. King Barrett won the match at 9 minutes and 19 seconds. However, like we say, per decree of our recap videos, we do not talk about pre-show fights only. I can only just give you that result. But we are going to start it off with the first fight of the night, which was Randy Orton going one-on-one with Money in the Bank winner Sheamus. The winner of the bout was Randy Orton at 16 minutes and 54 seconds, according to 411mania.com. And Anthony Florio, you lead off, my friend.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Michael Fletcher. And hello, friends. It is Anthony Blair here with you for our Battleground Recap edition of the Wrestling Forum. We are so delighted to have you with us. And, oh, boy, what a night this ended up being. Man, oh, man, alive. Let's dive right in here. Let me just say it like this. As far as the Barrett and R-Truth thing goes, I'm glad Barrett went over. They did the right thing. I'm so glad that happened. That really wasn't as bad as people thought it was. I mean, I know we're not talking about it, but if I had to give a rating, I would honestly give that 2 to 2.25 stars. It was a lot like that match they had on that Raw in Chicago some time ago. But that's in the past. Hopefully that feud's over. But now, Orton and Sheamus, I got to say third best fight of the night, to be honest with you. 16 minutes and 55 seconds, that's what I have on my notes here. I'm going to say between 3.25 to 3.5 stars. I thought it was a very good match, a well-worked match. They definitely benefited from, from the match being in Orton's hometown of St. Louis, Orton getting the hometown rub, which I'm kind of not surprised, to be honest with you. I mean, Orton hasn't had that, significant win, since WrestleMania when he beat Seth Rollins with the greatest RKO you'll ever see, or one of the greatest RKOs you'll ever see. And in all honesty, it was a well-worked match. Both men definitely worked very well, and and they've had some good matches in the past. You remember a few years ago when Sheamus and Randy Orton were feuding over the WWE Championship, when Sheamus was the champion, and for much of 2010, and of course Randy Orton would eventually take the title off of Sheamus at the Night of Champions in 2010, that six-pack challenge. But like I said, they benefited from the match being in St. Louis, having a receptive crowd. They definitely worked hard, and I would have to say best match we've seen from them in maybe lately, maybe in a while. I mean, thing is this the last we're going to see of these two? There's one part of me that says yes, but there's another part of me that says no. But at the same time, I'm kind of hoping it's the end of the feud, because it's hard to get fired up after having watched two guys who have worked together so many times feuding over really nothing. And even though Sheamus is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, he has no juice right now, if I'm being honest. But then again, we've seen this before. We've seen guys win the Money in the Bank contract, briefcase, and they get buried most of the time. I mean, I can remember when Daniel Bryan, when he won the Money in the Bank a few years back, they were burying him left and right, and then eventually he would become the champion of the world. So we'll have to wait and see on this. But like I said, one part of me thinks this feud's not over. Another part of me thinks it is. It's going to be very interesting to see what WWE has in store for Randy Orton and Sheamus come next month at SummerSlam at the Barclays. So we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to put our heads together and think about. Because let's face it, you can't have the biggest party of the summer without these two guys. You can't. They're too important. So, but to me, it's the third best fight of the night. It's 3.25 to 3.5 stars for the rating. Very good match. The live crowd was actually into it, but then again, when you're in the hometown, when you're in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis, Missouri, of course the crowd's going to be into it. Orton definitely benefited from the hometown rub, and like I said, I'm not at all surprised that they gave him the hometown rub here. So, but with that said, I'm going to throw it up now to my partner in crime in the Yes Movement, and a man who I'm sure right now is still marking out like a crazy man, the one and only our phenom, the one and only Michael Bullock. Mr. Bullock, if you've recovered from the events of about half an hour ago, let's get your thoughts on this Orton and Sheamus opener.
All right, thank you very much for ridiculously over Anthony Florio. Yes, this is the phenom, Mike Bullock here for our Battleground Recap, and yes, I sort of recovered from what happened during about a half an hour ago during the main event, which I'm still so excited about, but we'll get into it once we get to the main event as during this recap. But as far as this match goes, I'm going to say probably about 3.25, 3.5 stars. This was a good match, close to about 17 minutes, and yeah, I mean these two really had a really good match. I mean the good near falls, the good back and forth that we saw, and yeah, and Randy Orton, he needed a big time win. I mean, he hasn't had one since, like you said, at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins with that sick RKO that we saw. And yeah, I mean, I know when the match was originally made, some people weren't excited about it because they've seen this before, but still, this was a good match here between these two to kick off the Battleground pay-per-view. So, yeah, so now the question is, where do these two go from here? I mean, do we get another match between these two, or is this the end? We're going to have to wait and see come tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. So basically 3.25, 3.5 stars, and of course, like I said, I was the one who picked Orton to win because let's face it, it's his hometown, and you wanted to give him that monumental win, not just because he needed it, but because come on, it's St. Louis, Missouri. He's doing it in front of his fans and probably his family, and definitely his family as well. So yeah, so 3.25, 3.5 stars. So with that being said, I'm just gonna toss it up to Fletch.
And I'm going to say 3.5 stars. So without a doubt, guys, you're absolutely right with the outcome of the fight. Orton needed this win. I understand why Sheamus, been getting a big rub, especially as being the Money in the Bank winner. But at the end of the day, Orton got the big rub here. He gets a big feather in the cap that he could make a claim and an argument maybe that, hey, I deserve a shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I just beat a really good opponent in Sheamus, and we'll get into the World Heavyweight title picture in just a little bit because that thing has turned upside down and inside out, especially after tonight. So we'll wait and see what happens there. This was excellent. I thought this was a great match, great way to start the show. 3.5 stars my rating for that fight. So let's move on to the next fight of the night, which was for the WWE Tag Team Championship. The primetime players going up against the New Day, the winner of the bout, and still the WWE Tag Team Champions, the primetime players, which means, Michael Bullock, if you please, millions
of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars.
Michael Bullock, you lead off, my friend.
All right. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna go 2.25 to 2.5 stars for the rating on this match. I mean, I thought the match, I mean, was fine for what it was, and of course, me and Florio, we did our when we did our preview show. I mean, I thought the New Day was gonna win back the tag team titles because, well, not a lot of people are fans of the primetime players as tag team champs. But to me, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, I think it would have been way too soon to take the titles off of them. I think you want to at least give them a nice little run with it, not a long run, but a nice little run with the tag team titles. So yeah, so basically, what's going to happen next now? Do we get another match between these two, maybe tomorrow night on Raw, or do they go with whoever's next in line for the tag team titles? Could it be the Lucha Dragons, or could it be another team? I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. So, but in any event, 2.25, 2.5 stars. I thought this was a fine match for what it was. So, Fletcher, I give it to you.
I'm actually going to go a little higher. I'm going to say 2.75 of a star. I think this was a very good match. I thought it was a solid tag team fight. I've been very high on the primetime players. I know a lot of people have not. I have. And I'm glad that they kept the belts. I'm glad that they won this fight. So, I mean, it's a good victory for them. And hopefully now finally means that the New Day can go into the back of the line. The one team that I would like to see get a shot is Roman and Harper. I would like to see them get a shot at the tag team gold. Of course, you got Lucha Dragons, you got Los Matadores. Unfortunately, Tyson Kidd and Antonio Cesaro is now defunct temporarily for now because of the fact that Kidd is nursing an injury and we don't know how long he's going to be going. I've heard rumors he might be out from upwards of about 1 full year. So I mean, I think now is the time, or maybe you probably, this has been the moment of people jumping ship, getting opportunities from NXT. What about the Bomb Dicks? I mean, I think they deserve at least a look at this, but we'll wait and see what happens. But I gotta say, somewhere between 2.5 to 2.75 of a star is my rating for this fight. Anthony, I give it to you.
I'm going to meet you guys halfway. 2.5 stars is my rating for the match. Solid match, solid tag team match up here. This is something like you would see on a TV. This was like a TV quality fight, if I'm being honest here. But it was fine for what it was, though. I mean, 8 minutes and 50 seconds. They didn't get enough time to do anything memorable or out of the ordinary for them, but they filled the time very nicely while they performed a good version of their usual style of the match. And it was, like I said, it was good work from both teams, and kind of wish they would have had a little more time, like I said, but you know what? They filled the time absolutely perfectly. So there's really nothing, I really can't complain about it. 850, that's not bad at all. So it's a solid 2.5 star fight for my taste. That's how I feel about it. Where do we go from here as far as the tag team title picture is concerned? Good question. I don't know. Let's move on.
And now here it comes, guys. One of the fights of the night. Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. Bray Wyatt wins the match. According to 411mania.com, the time of the fall was 22 minutes and 11 seconds. And I get to lead it off. Gentlemen, 4 solid stars on my rating. I give it 4 stars. Great match. This was definitely one of the fights of the night, and I was calling it. I was very harpooning it, hyping it, saying this is going to be a great match, an exciting fight. I was loving the body of work. I loved the build-up going into this fight, and it delivers and then some. A tremendous match in my eyes. Yes, there was a clunky finish. There was a masked man. It was later revealed that it was Luke Harper that assisted Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt won it with the sister Abigail. It only just adds to the possible rivalry between Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, and I think we're gonna get one more fight out of these two. And you know what? I cannot wait for a rematch, and I cannot wait to see this at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, for SummerSlam 2015, the hottest night of the summer. This will be red hot because I think this is a red hot rivalry. I know a lot of people were dumping on Roman Reigns. I understand that. But to me, this was definitely a top fight of the night, maybe the second best fight of the night out of the entire card. 4 stars is my rating for it. Anthony, go.
I agree with you, Fletch. It is the second best fight of the night. You are absolutely spot on there. Solid 4 stars. I definitely agree with you. I was leaning more towards 4.25, but the clunky finish there. I can honestly call it Wyatt family shenanigans here, but it wasn't like all out shenanigans, but 4 star match. I mean, I give credit to Michael Fletcher here. I mean, Fletch was the one who, that's why we call him the hype man here on the forum. I mean, this is why he's our resident hype man. I mean, he always tries to hype us about certain fights that he may have skepticism about, but no, these two delivered, man. I mean, it was shades of the Wyatt family and the Shield, of course, minus Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins and Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Rowan, I know is. I heard he's nursing an injury, so I don't know if he's going to be back anytime soon. But who knows? Maybe we could have a reincarnation of the Wyatt family, perhaps, now that with Luke Harper helping Bray Wyatt score the victory. Huge win for Bray Wyatt, man. I mean, if anybody needed a win, I can honestly say he needed it. I mean, it was a tough one to call last night, and I got to give credit to Bullock here because we did our preview show late last night. Michael Bullock, he had a gut instinct. He said he felt Bray Wyatt was going to win the fight, and I respectfully disagreed. I honestly thought Roman Reigns was going to get the Duke, but no, Bray Wyatt gets the victory here, and hey, that's fine with me. I mean, he needed it. I mean, I honestly cannot remember the last time Bray Wyatt secured a significant win. If you want to consider Ryback significant at the Payback event a couple months ago.
I would say Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, that's what I was leaning towards. From the TLC. The TLC last December, that awesome TLC match that Wyatt and Ambrose had, which was another solid 4-star fight. I remember Bullock and Fletch were very hot. I had very high praise for that fight. Of course, I didn't see that because I had a very special family gathering on that night. But nonetheless, I mean, Fletch is spot on about everything. Number one, second best fight of the night, yes. Solid 4-star fight, yes. Rematch, an immediate rematch at the earliest possible date? Oh, hell yes. August 23rd, 2015, Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York. SummerSlam. Only difference is, I think it's going to be some type of hardcore gimmick type fight. Because you saw them throwing chairs in the ring, all of the old school ECW. Don't think I didn't notice that. I noticed it. And something tells me we're going to get some type of stipulation, hardcore gimmick type fight with Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt next month at SummerSlam. And should that be the case, then and only then, I fully expect Roman Reigns to get the win back. I really don't see how. I really don't see how they would have Roman Reigns do the job again. So, the next month SummerSlam, Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, hardcore gimmick type, maybe an old Bard or a street, maybe a Brooklyn street fight. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But based on the event, I think we're getting a hardcore gimmick match at SummerSlam next month. You can book that. Solid 4 stars. It's the second best fight of the night. 22 minutes and 5 seconds on my scorecard here. So, with that said, Michael Bullock, how do you follow this?
I'm going to make it unanimous. This was the second best fight of the night. I'm going to give it a solid 4 stars as well. I mean, this was a real good match here for what it was, and I do agree it could have been 4.25 stars, but the shenanigan finish with Luke Harper basically showing up, and yeah, looks like we got a little Wyatt family reunion. So yeah, and I do see this happening again at SummerSlam, and I think it could be a hardcore stipulation match, especially after seeing all the chairs being thrown in. So yeah, I mean, we saw all the back and forth in the match, especially all the different counters that Bray Wyatt did for Roman Reigns' offense. So yeah, and like I said, and I called it, and with Bray Wyatt winning, and Bray Wyatt, he needed a win, and the last time he had a monumental win was, of course, at the TLC pay-per-view against Dean Ambrose in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. So yeah, so basically, there's really nothing else for me to say except second best fight of the night, 4 stars. So with that being said, Fletch, let's move on to our next match.
And it was a triple threat diva fight. It was Brie Bella, accompanied by Alicia Fox and WWE Divas Champion Nikki Bella, versus making her second appearance in actual WWE competition, Charlotte Flair, accompanied by Becky Lynch and Paige, and making her in-ring WWE debut. It was the boss, the NXT Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, accompanied by Naomi and Tamina, and the winner of the bout was Charlotte Flair. She put the figure 8 on Brie Bella for a tap out submission victory. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
Woo! That's my girl. Yeah, Charlotte Flair.
Woo!
Yeah, that's my girl, man. Charlotte Flair. You know how much I love the girl. Yes, ma'am. It's the 4th best fight of the night, and it got 11.5 minutes, 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And thanks to the additions of these NXT women, making this what we call the new women's division, they have reached new territory. Solid 3 stars. I'm giving this a solid 3 stars for the effort, guys. This was absolutely fantastic. I mean, you knew once they added Charlotte, once they added Sasha Banks, and God forbid once Becky Lynch gets in there. Oh, good grief. But once you add these NXT mainstays into the mix, I mean, Charlotte and Sasha Banks, we already know their body of work. I mean, they had perhaps the women's match of the year. One of the women's matches of the year, the one with Sasha and Becky Lynch. I mean, that is the women's match of the year. That was a damn near 5-star classic from the last NXT show. But, gentlemen, I can honestly say when it comes to the WWE side of things, this is the WWE Diva Fight of the Year right here. Solid 3 stars. I mean, all 3 ladies worked their you-know-what's off. I mean, Brie Bella definitely has gotten better. You know that. And I noticed something. I have another observation I need to share here. Brie Bella was doing the educated feet bit. I wonder where she got that from. Oh, yeah, her husband, Daniel Bryan, right? I mean, you noticed that. She was doing the educated feet bit on both ladies. And when I saw her do that, I was thinking about Daniel Bryan. Yes. And I came across a dirt sheet on the leader of the Yes Movement recently. Maybe I'll share that with you guys behind the scenes or something. I don't know. But fellas, you knew once these NXT, we all remember the segment from last Monday night, the segment of the year in many people's eyes. Social media blew up like it always does whenever something, significant or epic happens. It happened here again tonight. Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Brie Bella put together the best WWE Diva fight of 2015, without a doubt. 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And you know what we said? We made a decree on last Monday's forum. You remember what that decree is, but for anybody who may have missed it, I'm gonna remind you all. I'm gonna reiterate it right now. Now that we have these NXT mainstays on the main roster, and especially after how unbelievably well that segment came off last Monday night, from now on, when it comes to women/divas matches, whether it's on TV or on these pay-per-view network specials, we don't expect anything less. If from now on, if it's a ho-hum diva fight, we will. The gloves will come off. You know that. But thankfully, so far, so good. No need for the gloves to come off, fellas. No need. This was absolutely epic. Well done, ladies. Well done. And a special well done to my girl, Charlotte Flair. And I came across a very special photo of father and daughter having a very special moment as a very special embrace, a nice embrace indeed from Charlotte Flair and, of course, her father, one of my all-time idols. You guys know this. The man that I portray in our version of the Horseman, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Yeah, very special indeed.
Woo!
Amen to that, boy. Amen to that. Oh. Fellas, the ladies have arrived. But then again, they arrived last Monday night. But tonight, they kicked the door down, and they made themselves at home. Keep it up, ladies. Keep it up. Solid 3 stars. It's the 4th best fight in the night. Michael Bullock, I don't know how you're going to follow that, but give it a try, man.
Yeah, I do agree. It was a solid 3-star match. I mean, this was a really good Divas triple threat match. Yeah, I mean, going into this pay-per-view, we were like saying, I mean, are the Divas or the women going to get involved? Or are they going to have something to do with the Battleground pay-per-view? And then, I mean, you saw that little interview with Stephanie McMahon, and as soon as I heard that, I'm like, yes, I couldn't wait for it. And say what you want about Stephanie McMahon. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, she's probably got a lot of haters, especially with the being with the Authority. And yes, there's that photo, that special moment with his daughter Charlotte Flair. Yeah, that is a great moment right there, and I know he must have been really proud of his daughter tonight, and that he certainly was, and I'm glad Charlotte Flair got the win here. And I'll tell you what, this revolution, with Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and of course Becky Lynch now in there, it's definitely gonna give this women's division a shot in the arm that it so desperately needs, and this was definitely the first step. And yeah, Brie Bella definitely, she even looked good in the match too. She's been getting better as time goes by. And yeah, and of course the Bella snobs, well, they better be warned. This revolution has arrived, and all I can say is it's only going to get better and better. And all I can say is we don't want to have any more typical ho-hum diva matches, because we will go off if we do get another one of those types of matches. I mean, great job by all 3 women. Great job by Brie Bella, Sasha Banks, and to the winner, woo! Charlotte Flair. Now all we need is Becky Lynch to get in there, especially with the way her body of work is, especially with that unbelievable NXT Divas title match, or the NXT Women's title match back at the NXT Takeover Unstoppable special. So yeah, so great job by all the women here, and All I can say is keep it up. 3 stars is my rating. Fletcher, it's yours.
I'm in a unanimous decision. 3 stars. Tremendous fight. One of the best diva fights we've seen in such a long time, and I'm so pleased that WWE actually gave them a great amount of time, more than 10 minutes this time around, and they let the girls shine, and all of them shine tonight. Brie Bella shined. Sasha Banks shined under the spotlight for the first time in that big glare of the pay-per-view event, and Charlotte Flair gets not only a shining moment for her, but probably the most monumental victory of her young career. So the sky's the limit for her. Who knows? She might be the next in line for the Divas title. We will see sometime down the line. I know a lot of fans believe she deserves the opportunity at the belt. So we'll see what happens then, and we'll see what happens in the very near future. All right, guys. Next up. Oh my God. John Cena versus Kevin Owens for the WWE United States Heavyweight title. The winner of the bout and still champion John Cena. The luck of the draw comes down smiling on Michael Bullock. The Phenom gets to lead off.
Lucky.
Well, fellas, what can you say? They've done it again. Fight of the night, and I'm gonna pull the trigger here. This was another 5-star classic in my book. I mean, this was just freaking awesome between these. I mean, for some reason, when these two are in the same ring, I mean, it basically turns to gold when it comes to this. I mean, all the back and forth, all the near falls, all the Shakespearean drama we had in this match. I mean, John Cena, he had 2 AAs, one, of course, including one from the second rope, and it still wasn't enough to. It still wasn't enough to knock him. I mean, to beat him. I mean, and then Kevin Owens also hit his pop-up powerbomb, and that wasn't enough to keep him down. And I mean, all these times we kept saying, I mean, we kept thinking, what was it going to take to keep him down? And yeah, and basically, it finally took Cena's AA, or not AA, the STF to finally get Owens to tap out. And I mean, the thing I liked about it is that Kevin Owens during the match was basically mocking Cena, especially using some of his moves like the AA and the STF. That was the one that surprised me, and he actually looked good applying that submission maneuver. So, man, this was another good match. I'll say in my honest opinion, I still think that Money in the Bank, the match at Money in the Bank was just a smidget better than this. I mean, all the 3 matches that they've had has just been awesome, to say the very least. So, what goes on next for these 2 men? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out tomorrow night. Fight of the night, 5 stars. Fletcher, your thoughts on this fight of the night, which was damn sure awesome.
I'm going to say this. It's the greatest trilogy in WWE history. There's no doubt about it. We cannot argue this. This is now in the levels of Hogan versus Andre, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. This is now and forever. This is going to go down as maybe one of the top 5 rivalries in WWE history. That's how epic this fight is, and this battle has been. Every single time they have fought, it's either been, well, in the case of Anthony Flair and Michael Bullock, they both had 5 stars and beyond. For me, one of the fights was maybe 4.5 stars. the second fight was, in my opinion, was 4.5 stars, 4 3/4. Tonight, they get the full 5 and beyond, in my book. Fight of the night, the new fight of the year, in my opinion. And on top of that, it is definitely, probably, like I said, in the top 5 of the greatest rivalries in WWE history. That's how epic this battle has been. And, Michael Bullock pretty much said everything that he said, from the counters to the psychology to the fan reaction, from the Let's Go Cena to the Fight Owens fight. It was it was awesome from beginning to the middle to the end. 5 stars and beyond. Fight of the night. My pick for fight of the year, and I'm calling it right now, the top 5 rivalries in WWE's almost 60 years and beyond of lineage and history in professional wrestling. Bravo to both men. Well done. This is why the United States title is no longer just a ho hum secondary championship. It has taken a life of its own and has brought back prestige and honor as a secondary belt in WWE. And without a doubt, John Cena has to go down. And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think John Cena has to be now considered in an elite class as probably one in maybe even top 5 of the greatest United States heavyweight champions of all time. Anthony Florio, how do you follow that?
I'll show you how to follow that. That's how you follow it right there. I have to do that. I mean, after what Fletch is saying, how can you? I mean, you want to talk about the lineage and the prestige of the United States Heavyweight Championship? There it is, right there. That's the prestige in the history of the United States Heavyweight Championship, and we saw it on display one more time here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's all there is to say here. I am in 100% agreement with my longtime best buddies and colleagues here. Another 5-star classic, another Fight of the Year contender, without a doubt. Oh, man alive. 22 minutes and 15 seconds. Just absolutely incredible. I mean, these two busted their ass. And why did they do it? For the prestige and the honor of what you see in my photo on my photo share right now. The United States Heavyweight Championship belt. You see the very first one, very ugly looking belt, I know, from the days of the Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, the Jim Crockett days. And then belts 2 and 3, most likely, of course, from the NWA days, also the Crockett days, the heyday, and of course, number 4, obviously, the WCW version of the United States Heavyweight Championship. So, of course, the current incarnation, you see it right there. And then, of course, that bling-bling sideshow that Cena had a decade ago. And I'm glad that they didn't have him bring that back. I'm glad they have him holding that regular incarnation of the belt, that Stephanie McMahon brought back 12 years ago in 2003, which the late, great Eddie Guerrero was the first man to hold it. Excuse me, guys. I heard on commentary that the very first United States Heavyweight Champion was hanging around somewhere in St. Louis. I think he was in the arena. I think he might have been backstage or something. I heard on commentary. That's Harley Race, guys. I bet wherever Harley Race was, I bet Handsome Harley, one of the original kings, I bet you can bet your ass, he had a big smile on his face. He had a Cheshire Cat-like grin on his face, knowing that he must have been saying to himself, hey, I may have been the first one to hold it, but damn it to hell, the match that those two young men just had out there was far and away better than any match that I ever had whenever I defended the United States Heavyweight Championship. It's legitimate, fellas. You know, it may be all about the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, you know, when it comes to the championship belts and the prestige of it. But right here, guys, this belt, the United States Heavyweight Championship, is clearly the number two championship in the WWE today. The only gripe I have, I believe it or not, there is a gripe I have with this. Why did Cena go over? Owen should have won this fight. I felt Owen should have won the belt here, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys. But then again, maybe, just maybe, they want to save it. Maybe they want to save it for next month. Maybe they want to save it for SummerSlam, possibly. Maybe there's a chance we could see maybe a fatal four-way match with John Cena, with Kevin Owens, with Cesaro, and with Rusev. That's a possibility that I came across, you know, just recently. I can honestly see that happening. And if that does happen, then you have to believe Owens wins that. But mark my words, he may not have won it tonight, but mark my words, Kevin Owens will be the next United States Heavyweight Champion. That's my only gripe, but even with Cena winning, there is a bright side to this. As long as Cena keeps the belt, you know what that means, guys. More John Cena United States Heavyweight Championship Open challenges on Monday Night Raw. That alone is the only good thing to come out of John Cena holding the United States Heavyweight Championship still after tonight. I still think Kevin Owens should have won it. That's just my personal, honest opinion. But at the end of the day, though, as long as Cena keeps holding that belt, and as long as we still get those John Cena U.S. Open challenges on a weekly basis on Monday Night Raw, that is what's best for business. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. This match tonight, before I wrap it up, this match tonight, guys, is the reason why we love professional wrestling. That's why we've been following it and covering it since we were all little boys. And you know, we were hoping to have a platform for us to, you know, do this on, you know, share our thoughts about, you know, all the matches and whatnot. Derek Ferreira gave us this platform 3.5 years ago when this whole wrestling forum thing started. And that's why I'm so forever grateful and appreciative to him, man. Because he gave us this platform that we've been craving for the longest time since we were little boys. We've been wanting to do something like this, and this is why we do it. Matches like that tonight, folks. Technical Wrestling Masterclass. Michael Bullock and I, you know how much we love our technical wrestling. Michael Fletcher and Derek Ferreira, they love their hardcore fights. But I know once in a good while, they love themselves a good technical wrestling match. I know that I don't know what Derek Ferreira is going to think about it whenever he does his review, whether it's on the YouTube or on the sports blog. The outstanding sports blog, by the way. You can bet your ass that we're all going to be in agreement that this is a 5-star classic and this is the fight of the year. Well done, John Cena. Well done, Kevin Owens. The United States Heavyweight Championship is here to stay. Move on, Fletch.
We move on. Well, it was a little campy comedy segment. The Miz barking about, you know, how he was going to be the United States Heavyweight, the Intercontinental Champion. As many of you may know or may not know, Ryback suffered a staph infection and unfortunately was unable to fight for the title. I actually posted on my Facebook a couple of days ago saying that the fight was officially off, which really, I don't think a lot of us were going to lose sleep over it, to say the very least. So with that said, we're just gonna bypass that. I'm gonna go right into the main event, which was for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It was Brock Lesnar trying to regain the title from Seth Rollins. Well, let's say it like this. The fight was a throwout. The fight got thrown out because the dead man returned. The Undertaker came back and beat down Brock Lesnar. Now, you could make an argument that Brock Lesnar won the match via disqualification. If you want to make that argument, you can. However, at the end of the day, um, the fight was a throwout. The fight was a throwaway. And unfortunately, guys, I gotta do it. I gotta give this an NA. I can't give an official decision on this one because of the fact that the fight ended in such a screwy finish. I gotta give it an NA and basically say that this was definitely something we were excited for, and we heard rumors. If you were reading Derek Ferrera's sports blog, he did mention that there was a rumor that Taker might come back, and it proved to be true. He is back. He did show up. It looks like he's going to fight Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and oh my lord, what a fight that's going to be. Um, but it's so disappointing. But then again, Brock Lesnar did 12 suplexes on Seth Rollins, so there was really nothing spectacular. I mean, it was a good fight, but like I said, the fight got thrown out. It was a throwout, a no contest. Rollins keeps the belt. Rollins is still the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And because of that, I'm sorry, I gotta give it an NA. I gotta give it a no rating here. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, it's going to have to be an NA. I do agree with you, Fletch. I mean, oh, man. It only got 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Oh, boy. Um, I don't know if we can, by default, call this the worst fight of the night, which shocks a lot of people, considering who was involved here. But you know what? I think the non-finish actually makes some sense here. Why do I say that? Fellas, what was the event? What was the event that we wanted to see these two throw down for the title? SummerSlam. Am I right? SummerSlam. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen now. I mean, we all know The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar has been heavily rumored for SummerSlam, and it's very likely we're going to get that match at SummerSlam. But hold the phone. Could they add Seth Rollins to the mix and make it a triple threat match, possibly for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? Food for thought, guys. Food for thought. Wow. There's two ways they can go with this. Obviously, the straight up one-on-one with Taker and Lesnar, the rematch from WrestleMania 30, where Brock Lesnar did the unthinkable and ended the streak of The Undertaker. Or they could throw Rollins in, and we could have ourselves a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of SummerSlam. And if they do that, big if, by the way. I know that's a big if. I know that's wishful thinking. I get it. But I just want you guys to, imagine this. Let's use our imagination here, if you will. Imagine if, guys, and especially you, Mr. Bullock. I want you to imagine. Could you imagine if they go the triple threat route, if they go Rollins, Lesnar, Taker for the title in the main event of SummerSlam? Let's say they do that. And can you imagine, God forbid, if they put the belt on Taker? Could you imagine that? Wow.
I would be going, yes, 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 if that happened.
Yeah. Like I said, I know that's wishful thinking, but
Well, that would only happen in Bizarro World.
yeah. But I think it's very clear that we're going to get Undertaker and Brock Lesnar one-on-one at SummerSlam. And, well, like I said, if that happens, then what for Rollins? Who does Rollins defend the belt against at SummerSlam? Open contract. It's wide open. We really do not know who Seth Rollins' next challenger for SummerSlam would be. My guess is, and the only reason why I threw in that triple threat scenario is because of this non-finished night. That's the only reason. Thankfully, we have 5 weeks to digest this and process this, and then we can, figure it out from here. Hopefully, tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw, we'll have a clear, we'll hopefully have a frail grasp on the big picture. That's what I'm hoping for here. Maybe we'll get some sort of clarity. Very unlikely, I know, but tomorrow night, some explaining to do here. And hopefully, we'll have some sort of plan in place for the main event of SummerSlam. It's an NA, rather disappointing, but let me tell you this: it is damn sure nice to see the Undertaker back. I mean, I know nobody is more happier about this than Michael Bullock is. There's no doubt about this. I mean, we thought after he beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, we thought we weren't going to see Taker again until next year's WrestleMania at AT&T Cowboy Stadium in front of 100,000 plus. Well, you're not going to have to wait long, my friends, because next month at the Barclays in Brooklyn, SummerSlam, for the first time in 7 years, The Undertaker is going to wrestle an official match. SummerSlam. 7 years ago, that last match at SummerSlam he wrestled, a damn near 5-star classic of a Hell in a Cell match with WWE Hall of Famer, the Rated R Superstar Edge, which ranks as one of the 10 greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time. Taker versus Lesnar, I truly believe, is going to be better than the WrestleMania 30 fight. And I also truly believe that Taker is going to get the win back. It's only fitting, it's only right that they give him the win back. Oh my goodness gracious. What an unbelievable way to cap off an unbelievable night of World Wrestling Entertainment action. The fans in St. Louis, they definitely got their money's worth tonight. All the millions and millions of subscribers to the WWE Network, they damn sure got their money's worth. And even all of you old schoolers out there who still use the traditional pay-per-view model and shelled out the $40 to $50, you got your money's worth here tonight. Bottom line, we all got our money's worth here tonight. All right, Mr. Bullock. I know you're ready. I know how long you've been waiting for this. Your hero's back, man. Your idol. Your all-time favorite. Go nuts, my man. Go nuts. And have fun.
Well, first off, I gotta say the match is an NA. I do agree. I mean, it was basically a throwaway, but we got a payoff. And well, first, of course, we had the Brock Lesnar was nailing all those suplexes to Seth Rollins, and then Lesnar hits the F5. Looks like he's gonna win the match, and then all of a sudden, you hear the bell toll and the lights go out, and I'm like, he's back. And I was marking out like a freaking crazy man once The Undertaker finally showed up and the lights came back on. And boy, howdy, he had been waiting since WrestleMania to do what he did to Brock Lesnar tonight. Like Taker was going to go for the choke slam. Lesnar counted to an F5. Undertaker counted it. And let's just say Undertaker nailed Lesnar somewhere where it hurts. I think you know where I'm going with it. And then he hits the choke slam, and then not one, but two tombstone pile drivers to the Beast Incarnate. And here's the one thing I came up with. You know how Brock Lesnar came up with Suplex City, bitch? Well, here's something I came up with it after what we saw tonight. Welcome to Tombstone City, bitch. Well, that's for Brock Lesnar. Yeah, and I mean the crowd at the Scott Trade Center was going nuts when the Undertaker when he showed up, and we all knew this was going to happen. And yes, we all know what's going to happen. Undertaker, Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and the first time in 7 years, the dead man will be competing at the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. And yep, and and we know this match is gonna happen. And when that happens, I'm already gonna say this: Taker's winning that match. He's getting that win back from WrestleMania last year. So NA on the match, but damn it to hell, it's good to see the dead man back. So really nothing else. Well, I gotta do it one more time with the dead man coming back. Yes, 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 yes. Fletcher, it's yours.
Time for overall reviews. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
Well, let me say it like this. In the 3-year history of Battleground, far and away the best Battleground event. There's no doubt about that. As far as where it ranks as, in the list of best events of 2015, it ranks right up there, guys. I can honestly say this is in my top 3, along with WrestleMania and maybe Money in the Bank or Elimination Chamber. It's one of those other two. But I'll say it like this. If it wasn't for, the non-finish with if the Rollins-Lesnar thing wasn't in NA, and if we didn't get that unnecessary promo segment with Miz and the Big Show, I was honestly on the verge of giving this thing a perfect 10. But to be honest, I cannot in good conscience do that because of those aforementioned reasons I just mentioned. I am, however, going to give it between 9 to 9.25 out of 10 and rate it as, like I said, one of the top 3 WWE pay-per-view events of 2015 without a doubt. Cena Owens 3, the surprise of no one. Fight of the night, another 5-star classic. What else is new? You knew we were going to get one. Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, a very nice match with those two. Second best fight of the night. Far exceeded my expectations. But then again, I have to give credit to Michael Fletcher for convincing us to give it a chance. And I really didn't know what to think of it, but man, oh man, Wyatt and Reigns, man, they threw down and they threw down good. Solid 4-star fight on that count. Third best fight of the night. Hey, give it up for Randy Orton and Sheamus, guys. I mean, that's another match that exceeded my expectations. I didn't really think that was going to be, anything really special, but hey, 3.25 to 3.5 stars to round out the top 3 fights of the night. Then you had the Diva fight, triple threat Diva fight, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Brie Bella, solid 3 stars. New territory for Diva fights. It's not that often we rank Diva fights 3 stars, but we had to in this case. The body of work of that fight was just so damn good. And I'm so glad they got 11 and a half minutes to apply their craft, and that was really good. And then the tag team title fight with the Primetime Players and the New Day, solid 2.5-star fight there. Of course, by default, and it shocks a lot of people that we have to say this, but by default, you have to consider Rollins and Lesnar the worst fight of the night, even with the NA rating. I mean, 4 minutes and 5 seconds, and that's all we get. I mean, yes, we got the only reason why we're not crapping all over it completely is we got that big payoff, the return of the Undertaker. So, but like I said, if a Rollins and Lesnar fight had been halfway decent, and we didn't get that pointless and unnecessary promo segment with Miz and Big Show, honestly, I would have given this thing a perfect 10, and I would have considered it the best event of the year. But because of those 2 reasons, like I said, I can at best give this between 9, 9.25 out of 10. But what I can tell you is it is one of the 3 best events. It's in my top 3 for pay-per-view of the year. No question about it. Everybody worked their ass off tonight. The crowd in St. Louis was hot. You definitely had some IWCers there. That's always a good thing. The body of work was just absolutely tremendous. There was really nothing really remotely bad, I can honestly say. So, yeah. Where do we go for SummerSlam? You know it's going to be Undertaker against Brock Lesnar. Everybody and their mother knows that's going to happen. The million-dollar question, however, is will they add Seth Rollins to that mix and make that a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? It's a possibility, but I really don't think that's likely. I think the bigger money fight. Well, it's going to be a big money fight. With or without Seth Rollins, that's a big money fight right there. Whether you put Rollins in and make it a title fight, or you leave Rollins out and we get the straight up one-on-one with Taker and Lesnar, a rematch from WrestleMania 30. A year and a half in the making. You know that's happening. And if that does happen, like I said, what do they do with Rollins? Who does Rollins defend the belt against next? Million-dollar question. We don't know. I can honestly expect John Cena to defend the United States Heavyweight Championship. I think my most likely scenario, I'm going with the 4-way. I think it's going to be Cena versus Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus Rusev. That's how I feel about that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I came across that possible scenario. I like the sound of that. I would book that for next month at the Barclays. And as far as the Divas, I really don't know what they'll do with them. Who knows? Maybe Charlotte gets her shot at the Divas title. Maybe Charlotte faces Nikki Bella for the title. I don't know. I would love to see that myself, but we'll have to wait and see because of all these, because of these 3 Diva factions. We'll have to wait and see how they follow up with the Divas. Hopefully, we get another damn good match like we got from the 3 Divas we saw tonight. As far as anything else is concerned, it's all up in the air, fellas. We're just going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait for the next 5 weeks. We got 5 weeks to build this sucker. Let's make the most of it. But Taker Lesnar, you can pretty much pencil that in. And that's pretty much the only fight that we can really pencil in at this point. That Cena, Owens, Cesaro, Rusev 4-way, maybe. That's what I want to see personally. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I want to see. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. But all I do know is I got a damn good feeling about SummerSlam next month at the Barclays. Well done, WWE. You hit one out of the park here tonight. Keep it up. That's all I say. Keep it up. 9 to 9.25 out of 10. Michael Bullock, your overall thoughts on this awesome, damn good Battleground show tonight?
Yes, this was indeed an awesome Battleground pay-per-view WWE Network special. I'm going to say 9 out of 10 is my rating for this. I mean, course, fight of the night being John Cena, Kevin Owens for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Second best fight of the night being Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. The third best fight of the night, Randy Orton and Sheamus. You also had a really good Divas triple threat match, which I was impressed with. You also had some more alright matches, but the disappointment was the Lesnar Rollins WWE World Heavyweight Title match was an NA, but we had that moment when the Undertaker returned and basically took Lesnar on a trip of his own to Tombstone City. So so a really good pay-per-view. WWE Network special. 9 out of 10 is my rating. Fletcher, your thoughts?
I actually have to say between 8.5 to 9 out of 10. I agree with you guys for everything that you guys have said. That was a damn good fight, a damn good event. I mean, there's nothing bad to say about it. Everything was spot on. Everything was pinpointed greatly. So, I mean, you definitely have a lot of great things happening in WWE. Another winner tonight, and WWE should be commended. Alright guys, so that wraps us up for the evening. So tomorrow night is the Wrestling Forum on YouTube.com. Anthony Floyer will host it. It will be on the Tone 25 on his channel. Join him, Michael Bullock, myself, and we will recap the fallout on Monday Night Raw. Basically, the fallout from Battleground pay-per-view, and we start to set up for the hottest night of the summer, SummerSlam, which will be at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and we will really be revving up the temperatures tomorrow night. So with that said, for Anthony Floyd, for Mike Bullock, I'm Mike Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching this. Please like it, give us your comments, tell us what you believe was the best fights of tonight's event, and you know the routine. Hug the hand pounds, we out. Good night, and we will see you very soon. You've been watching a special edition of the Battleground Recap exclusively on YouTube.com on BravesFan95, a part of the family of networks of Strictly Sports and Wrestling Forum. Have a good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.